UFC, bet with me or bet with Millz. We're back. We're back at it, folks. Viva Mexico. We're going to be going over UFC Fight Night. The card going on in Mexico City this week, Saturday night, with 13 fights. Headline by who? Brandon Moreno taking on Brandon Royval. Co-main event, Brian T. City Ortega taking on Yair Rodriguez, and a lot more exciting fights to talk about. So this is how it goes. I'm going to go over all the fights, give my predictions on them, give you guys my parlay at the end, and then, hey, man, let you guys know which dogs are barking. And, hey, if you guys want to see exactly what I'm betting on, my premium picks, head on over to the site Pick Dawgz. We got it all up there for you. I got a lot of bets on this card that I like, and a lot of props, too, to get you guys paid, too. Let's talk about last week. A new champion, Taporia, did his thing. Yeah, man, how'd you guys do last week? Predictions over here, we went great. 9-2 on that. 6-3 on our premiums. Hey, Taporia came through and cashed as we thought he would. That was one of my favorite fighters. It was easy for me to make that play on there. We won with our lottery parlay, a plus 700 parlay we gave out, and then we won with our Cage Warriors parlay, a 2-leg parlay too. Those were given on the other video that I do called Fights Finish and Not Go the Distance. We put that out like 2 days before the event, so I just went over the whole card and let you guys know on what I thought the fights was going to finish and what fights was going to go the distance. On that one, we went 8-3 on our predictions too. But yeah, man, we made a lot of money, so let's go ahead and get it started, man. All right, first fight of the night, Mouhamad Nazarov, 10 wins, 2 losses, taking on Eric Silva, 9-2. Mouhamad Nazarov made his debut in the UFC. He was a big underdog against Jamie Mullarkey. I had a bet on him, and then he starts Jamie Mullarkey, I want to say, in the second or third round, run by KO. He bounced back against Nathaniel Wood in a fight that he was another underdog in. And hey, man, we cashed on him in there again, man. So far, betting on him, I like this guy. I'm 2-0 betting on him. He opened up as a minus 350 favorite. I think he's up to like a minus 500 favorite. Eric Silva on the other side. Seen him fight in 2022. It was against TJ Brown. I was in that arena. It was on the Blackowitz versus Ankalaev card. He lost by unanimous decision in that one. Took a lot of time off. I think in here he's getting fed to the wolves. I like Mouhamad Nazarov to win to get that one done. He probably wins inside the distance. Second fight on the card, Victor Moreno, 12 wins, 3 losses, representing Mexico City, taking on Felipe dos Santos, 7-1, representing Brazil. Victor Moreno, man, same thing. I seen this guy fight at not the same fight card, but he was on the UFC Fight Night card out in San Antonio, Texas, with Corey Sandhagen versus Chito Vera. I bet on him in that fight, and he was able to get the win in that fight. Who was it against? Lacerda or somebody? It was against somebody. I don't remember the opponent, but this is the thing, man. He's opening up a big underdog against Felipe dos Santos. Dos Santos, this is a minus 3-1 favorite, 300 favorite on there. He made his UFC debut fighting Manuel Cape in a fight that he got beat, but a lot of people are giving him credit, because he trains with Charz Oliveira, the shoot the box, but I'll be honest with you guys, man. I think the line's way off. I like the dog in this one, man. I'm going to be taking him to win, plus 3.5 on the points. I think he's going to be pushing the pace out there. He's going to have the background of his crowd fighting in his hometown, and I know what he's going to do. He fights kind of like a Tim Elliott and Clay Guida, jumping around, going for takedowns, karate type stance. Former LFA title holder, too. That's what I really like, man. If you was able to win the belt in LFA, you definitely got a name known. You can make your name known in the UFC. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the dog, man. Give me Victor Moreno to win by decision in this one. The dogs is barking early. Oh. All right, third fight on the card. Luis Rodriguez, 15 wins, 2 losses, taking on Dennis Bonder, 19 wins, 4 losses. All right, man. This fight's been back and forth, man. Dennis Bonder was a slight favorite, minus 105. Now it's Luis Rodriguez, like a minus 125 on here. Luis Rodriguez made his debut on the UFC Contender Series, lost to Jerome Rivera in a fight that some of the people in the community thought that he should have won. Since then, he bounced around on the local scene, really hasn't did anything or made a name known. Dennis Bonder, he had some freak accidents, some bad losses in the UFC, getting his arm or his shoulder snapped against Malcolm Gordon in a fight that he ended up losing due to that. Then his last fight against Carlos Hernandez, he ended up getting slammed and getting TKO'd right at the end in a fight that the judges ruled no contest, though. But this is the thing, man. Older fighter, and kind of, you know, a smarter fighter in here. I think he has more ways to win in here. You know, he can clinch you up against the cage, get the takedowns going in here, and that's the one thing that Luis Rodriguez struggles with is takedowns. Jerome Rivera was able to take him down multiple times in that fight, and then also on the local scene, he was easily taken down in here. The community's been back and forth in this one. Mexico City is riding with Luis Rodriguez. Millz locker room, we're riding with Dennis Bonder in here, man. Give me the dog money in here, man. I think he could win by decision or even a late third round finish, man. It's one of those things to where his back's up against the cage. He's been losing. And he's been losing on ways to where he hasn't been aggressive. I think he's going to go out there and push the pace and try to be the way more offensive fighter in here and try to, you know, get his fighting style going in these fights because, yeah, man, one more loss and he's out the UFC. So let's go ahead and take the plus money with Dennis Bonder in that one. Fourth fight on the card, Faris Zayn, 14 wins, 4 losses, taking on Claudio Perez, 12 wins, 3 losses. Claudio Perez, last time out, fought Dan Hooker in a fight that, you know, a lot of people was giving him a chance to win in that one, you know. The reason why is because Dan Hooker was looking like he was, you know, on the bad side of the career going. But no, because Claudio Perez didn't do anything in that fight except for go for rolling heel hooks. He literally laid on the ground and scooted over and tried to grab him by the legs. From then, he took some time off, okay? Training now with a better gym over there. I think, who's he training with? Diego Lopes and them, some credible fighters. Faris Zayn's opened up a -200 favorite in here. He's been looking good, 2-0 in his last 2 fights. Before that, he did take a loss to Terrence McKinney and bounce right back, you know. He's one of those guys to where, you know, he has a tall frame, can use the jab, mixing the wrestling, mixing the takedowns. He does lack that killer instinct in there. But this is a line to where it stayed the same all week so far. I like Faris Zayn in here. As long as he can avoid, you know, going into those grappling exchanges with Claudio and, you know, not get taken down, I think Faris Zayn should be able to win this fight. The fight IQ is questionable, though, because Claudio is going to be going for those submissions all the way through the fight, all the way up to the last minute, man. All right. 5th fight on the card. Edgar Charz, 10 wins, 5 losses, taking on Daniel Lacerda, 11 wins, 5 losses. Both these fighters fought already in the fight that I forgot what happened to where the judge wrote it like a no contest. I think the guy was trying to submit him and he looked like he quit it, but he didn't. I forget what happened, but man, this fight's been, you know, thrown around so many times. But now the betting favorites, they opened up Charz at a -320. He's all the way up to a -400 on here. The reason why is Lacerda, man. Lacerda's like 0-4 in the UFC. 0-4, but he gives you entertaining fights in here. Charz is going to be fighting in his home yard, you know, backyard. So I think he's going to have the momentum on his side in there. I think he wins inside the distance in that one. Next fight on the card, Montas Mendonca, 10 wins, 2 losses, taking on Jesus Aguilar, 9 wins, 2 losses, representing Mexico City. Mendonca opened up a big favorite, -145, -160. But the price been going down, and people been betting on Aguilar in the last couple of days. Now Mendonca's down to a -130. Let's talk about what they did in the UFC so far. Mendonca, last time out, he got knocked out by Nate Maness in a fight to where he was a big favorite in there, and he was just fighting dumb. He kept trying to go for ankle locks and takedowns, and he ended up getting KO'd. Before that, you know, let's see, who did he fight before that? Let's see exactly, because I forget a little bit. Let's see. Before that, he had a fight against Jaha Basharat. Wow. Yeah, man. That's not an easy task at all. But he's one of those guys to where, man, he's a jiu-jitsu specialist. If he can get you down to the ground, he can submit you early on. But he kind of pushes the pace early on in these fights, and he slows down as the fight goes. Jesus Aguilar, he was able to get that first knockout win, I think, his last time out against Shannon Ross in a fight that a lot of people thought he would win by submission, but he starched him in the first 17 seconds. Then before that, he had a loss to Taishiro Tara, which everybody's losing to him. So, I mean, I like the pedigree that I've seen from Aguilar so far compared to betting on Mendonca and knowing that, hey, man, he can gas out. Aguilar is a submission specialist. He usually wins his fights that way, too. So, I like the dog in this one, man. Give me Jesus Aguilar to win in round 2. How? Submission. Jesus Aguilar wins in submission round 2. Bet it and book it. Let's get it. All right. 7th fight on the card. Barcelo, 17 wins, 5 losses, taking on Christian Quinones, 18 wins, 4 losses. Barcelo's opened up a minus 170 favorite. He's up to a minus 200 now. Quinones, I think this is a guy to where he's out there, but you don't really know what he got. The reason why I say that is because his last fight, he lost against Kayon Home King, right? But before that, he won against Khalid Taha. So the UFC don't really know what to do with him in this case. But that's why they're giving him a veteran like this. A veteran to where you can showcase, hey, man, if you have that one-punch power, you can put the lights out of Ronnie Barcelos because he's looking a little bit older and is that Quinn's getting questionable a little bit in there. Betting-wise on here, minus 2-1 favorite for Barcelos. I can't trust it. He should be able to win. My initial read was he wins inside the distance. My pick is this fight finishes. It just doesn't go the distance. I don't have a strong read on either fighter on this one. Quinones, I don't think he's that good. Barcelos is world class when he was good. I think Barcelos gets it done though in this one, okay? All right, next fight going on. The main card, man. This fight is going to be the fight of the night in my eyes, man. I think this should be circled on everybody's card as the fight to watch. And I think this is the reason why it's kicking off the main card. Manuel Torres, 14 wins, 2 losses, taking on Chris Duncan, the problem. All right, Manuel Torres opened up a minus 125 favorite. He's all the way up to a minus 185 favorite on the sporting books out there, okay? Now, look, man, he has 2 fights in the UFC. He finished Motto inside the distance with a nice elbow. And then he finished Frank Camacho in a fight that, you know, man, it was just one of those things to give to a newcomer to make him look good. Because that's what Frank Camacho has been. He's been that stepping stone just to walk on to get in. But shout out to Frank Camacho because he was a hell of a fighter and a game fighter, though, you know. All right, man. Now, Manuel Torres, man, the story's out there to where, you know, we don't know how he's going to look later on in the fights, you know, because a lot of his finishes are within the first round. I made money with them twice. I like Manuel Torres. Chris Duncan on the other side, man. Know a lot about this fighter. Seen him fight in Bellator before he came to the Contender Series in the UFC. I've been following him ever since then. Came to the Contender Series, lost to Yarshar Bogoslav in a fight to where, hey, man, you see both these guys are still in the UFC. Since then, bounced back on the local scene, regional scene, came back in the Contender Series and was able to get the win. Got the win over Omar Morales, and then got the win in his last fight against Ashmos Yonos or something. Tough competitor fight. This is the thing that I like about Chris Duncan, man. He's getting better. Training over there at ATT, one of the best gyms out there, man. It seems like he's mixing in the wrestling right now. You know, he's not just going out there trying to stand and brawl. You know, for his height and frame, if he can get you in those later rounds, he's explosive in those later rounds. He has a gas tank and a cardio that he likes to push, training with fighters like Dustin Poirier, Johnny Eblen, and the list goes on. He's just getting better and better at time. So I'll be honest with you guys. I like the dog in this one, man. I like Chris Duncan, the problem. He's talking in media and everything saying, hey, man, I'm going to show you guys why they call me the problem this week on Saturday. I think Manuel Torres will be live in that first round. But if this gets past that first round, look for Chris Duncan to go ahead and take him down, man. Use that fight IQ. Don't give him the brawl that he wants. You know, you already know how dangerous Manuel Torres is, and I'm pretty sure the whole team do too. I'm going to be taking the dog shot in this one, but just know, I like both of these fighters. I made money on both of them too. If you're getting Manuel Torres at that minus 135, I don't even know that I would still be inclined to just take it at that price, man. But I salute you guys for getting at that low price tag. At a minus 185, man, I'm all the way on Chris Duncan. Even like I said, even if it was a minus 135, I would have made a big case for Chris Duncan still. All right, next fight on the card, Yasmin Yagiri taking on Sam Hughes, okay? Yasmin Yagiri is a minus 500 favorite, 10-1 representing Mexico. Sam Hughes, 8-5. I was able to see Yasmin fight out here in Anaheim. No, it was in San Diego when she made a UFC debut. It was a fight that got put on the main card as like a short notice replacement, and everybody was wondering, why is this fight on the main card? And, man, when those girls got in there and fought, we saw why it was on the main card, man. It was one of the best fights on the card, man. Man, she's a talented striker. Really like what she can do in the octagon cage. But her last fight out, she got knocked out in the first round. You know, so maybe a lot of people are doubting her and might be questioning her. But not really with that betting odds being a minus 500 favorite. Sam Hughes, One of those girls, she's going to push the pace. She's going to try to get you down to the ground. If she stands on the feet, she's going to get beat. Point blank period, though. But she has that tenacity that you want out there. She's not going to quit. I've seen her lose one round, come back and win the next 2 rounds. If this goes on to the later rounds, man, this dog might be barking in here. She might be able to get Yasmin down to the ground and stuff. So I'm going to tell you guys like this. I'm not parlaying Yasmin as the -500 because that's not going to do anything for me, and I don't recommend anybody else doing that. Yeah, I'm going to stay away from this fight in this one. But the pick is Yasmin to get it done. All right, next fight on the card, Royval Rosas Jr. taking on Ricky Turcos. Man, same thing, man. I was able to see the Royval Rosas Jr. fight live against Jay Perrin on the Agular Blackowitz card. In that fight, I had him inside the distance. He won. This fight, he's a -230 favorite on here. I like him a lot in this spot. Ricky Turcos, though, is the fighter that won the Ultimate Fighter. You know, he's a game fighter, but, you know, he's pushing his own pace, fighting to his own tune sometimes. I hear he's training over there at Alpha Male. If he's taking those strides, we might see a different Ricky Turcos in here. Talented with jiu-jitsu as well, but Royval Rosas, he took that first loss against Christian Rodriguez, bounced back against some guy named Mitch who y'all don't even know, don't even care about. But look, man, I'll be honest with you guys. I like him in this spot. He's coming down to a -210. I'm going to be playing him win inside the distance in this one. But Ricky Turcos is a live dog that I think, you know, can get looked past. But I like Rojas. I think he's as advertised. Next fight on the main card, Daniel Zilber, 14 wins, 1 loss, taking on Francisco Prado, 12 wins, 1 losses. Zell Huber is a -240, -260 favorite on here. Has reasons, and you know, it should be that, you know. I think he's on a 2-fight win streak. His last fight's out. Francisco Prado made his debut, lost to Jamie Malarkey, but then was able to win against Asman Atto in the fight we had him in. I think this price tag's way off. You know, you are going to have a difference in fighting contrast and body frames. One guy tall, skinny, trying to pump the jab. One guy short and stocky, Francisco Prado. Francisco Prado is going to be live in that first round. I like Zell Huber as well. You know, his last fight out was against Christian Giagos, I want to say. It was a close fight, and he actually, I think he lost one of those rounds in there as a big favorite. Francisco Prado's he don't know how to lose. Like, that's the thing. Like, with one loss, you don't know that you're not that good. Sometimes you need to, you know, go out there and see. And when you're fighting the better fighters, hey man, you still think you're the best when you only got 1 loss. This is gonna be a good fight. You guys stay away. I'm gonna be honest with you guys though, man. I kind of lean the dog in this one. Betting wise, I would be betting on Francisco Prado if I was betting on this one. Yeah, I like Zell Huber as well, man. But I think Zell Huber has way more ways to win. He can mix in the wrestling, mix in the takedowns, and grapple, win by decision. The pick is Zell Huber to win. All right, co-main event time. Yair Rodriguez, 18 wins, 4 losses, taking on Brian Ortega, 15 wins, 3 losses. Both these guys fought already in a fight that, you know, ended real quick. Why? Because Ortega, you know, hurt his shoulder when he got taken down or something and had to quit the fight. They gave it to Yair Rodriguez. Brian Ortega was a -145 favorite in that one. Now he's an underdog in this one. Yair Rodriguez opened up a -160. Brian Ortega was a +130. I like Ortega in this spot, point blank period. Yep, he's coming off a 1.5-year layoff. I bet him in that spot as a favorite. You think I'm not going to take him in this fight as a dog? Of course I am. Main event time. Brandon Moreno taking on Brandon Royval. 21 wins, 7 losses, 2 draws for Moreno. 15 wins, 7 losses for Royval. Moreno opened up a -260 favorite all the way up to a 280. Both these guys fought already in a fight that Moreno was dominating. Win. And the same thing. Royval got hurt in that fight. But he got hurt at the end, and, you know, Brandon Moreno ended up winning. You guys know the story. Both these guys fought Pantoja. Both these guys lost. Brandon Royval just lost going against the champ. He was supposed to be a short fill-in fight, fill-in for this fight. It's supposed to be Moreno versus Albazi. Royval said, all right, man, I'll be a short notice replacement. Albazi got hurt. Now he's fighting. All right, man. Moreno, I think he has way more ways to win in this fight. I think he finishes him in round 4. I'm taking Brandon Moreno in here. I really like him as a parlay piece as well, man. But Brandon Royval, the raw dog, is always live, man. This is going to be one of the more entertaining fights on the card. You know, from Mexico City, both these guys got that pride to go out there. Now, let's go ahead and give you guys, you know, my locker room parlay. I'm going to go ahead and go with Raul Rojas Jr., take that for 1 leg, and then I'm gonna go ahead and parlay with Mouhamad Naimov. That'll be my 2-leg parlay for you guys to get paid. Let's see here. What else do I got to give? I'll give you guys my long shot parlay on this one. And let's go ahead and get it. All right, man. I'm going to be taking Zayn for East Zion. All right, that's one leg. Then I'm going to be taking Ronnie Barcelos. That's another leg. Then I'm going to be going ahead and going with Brandon Moreno. That's another leg. Then I'm going to go ahead and take Edgar, Charz. And one more. Let's go ahead and go with, oh man, let's give you guys my, no, I'm not going to parlay Zober because I told you guys I like Prado a little bit in there. I'm trying to just go a little straight favorite for y'all, you know, to get you guys some, yeah, that's it. We're going to leave it with that, man. We're going to leave you guys with that little parlay, okay? Yeah, man, if you guys want some more picks and plays, check out what I got going on the site, Pick Dawgz. Last week, yeah, man, we had a lot of stuff that went our way. This week, we plan on doing the same thing. A lot of plays, a lot of ways to get paid. See you guys next week.